All right, we can move on to question 3. The U.S. Congress imposed restrictions on the number of Japanese vehicles that could enter the U.S. economy, effectively reducing the quantity of Japanese vehicles by 33%. Within 4 months, the price of an automobile, Within 4 months, the price of an automobile increased by roughly 14%. What is the own price elasticity of supply based on the information given below? Show your work. So it looks like our junior tutor has the right idea here. Let's say that the elasticity of supply is going to be the percentage change in quantity supplied divided by the percentage change in price. And what we saw was percentage change in supply was 33%. The percentage change in price was 14%. And 33% over 14% is going to equal 2.35%. Important to note, you always take the absolute value of elasticity. So this is technically negative 33%, but it's also absolute value. So we convert it to positive. We can say the own price elasticity of supply is 2.35%. If we remember correctly, when supply is over 1, that means, when the elasticity supply is over 1, that means the quantity supplied will alter a lot when there's a change in price. So we call it elastic. If it were equal to 1, we'd call it unit elastic, which would mean when the price changes, quantity supplied changes proportionately. And if it were less than 1, we would call it inelastic, which would mean that when the price changes, the quantity supplied does not change much. B is the market demand for automobiles, elastic or inelastic. Because the value we got is over 1, we can say that it is elastic. Maybe I've missed a reduction in the availability of automobiles because they're down 33%. As demand maintained the same. Doesn't say anywhere that demand. I misread this question here because they're asking about market demand, not market supply. So I should erase that. But I don't believe it talks about demand. It doesn't have anything about demand being constant anywhere, so I don't think we can actually properly answer this question. Nonetheless, we'll move on. Maybe I'm missing something. Wouldn't be the first time. What impact do you think this will have on the revenues of U.S. automakers? The U.S. automakers will see an increase in revenue as due to reduced competition, they will have a greater market share, so sales will increase. So basically, there are less cars being imported now. And we've seen that prices have gone up. So if there are less cars coming from foreign entities and demand remains the same, as our junior tutor said, although I don't see that in the question, if demand were to remain the same and prices go up and they now have a larger share in the market, it must be that their revenues are going up. Our junior tutor also said due to limited competition, the prices will not be competitive. Hence, there will be an increase in the prices of automobiles. Thus, there will be an increase in revenue, both due to increased sales and increased price per unit. So basically, by the Japanese importing less cars, we move further away from perfect competition and closer to some kind of oligopoly of some sort. And as a result, prices will rise. Move on to question 4 here.